In 2021, scientists documented something that should not be possible. A 35-year-old woman went on vacation, and her gray hair started growing back in color. No dye, no drug. Her stress had eased, and the pigment came back. That was not a miracle story. It was a peer-reviewed study in the journal A Life from a Columbia lab that mapped pigment along individual hairs and caught graying reversing itself in real time under the microscope. We will come back to how. It raises a question now reshaping biology. If stress can drain the color from your hair, what else is it draining from you? Your energy, your resilience, maybe your years. The answer lives inside tiny machines, inside almost every cell you own. These machines are mitochondria. You have somewhere between hundreds and thousands of them in nearly every cell. They take the food you eat and the oxygen you breathe and convert them into ATP, the universal energy currency of life. Your brain is about 2% of your body weight, but it consumes roughly 20% of your resting energy, a fact established by neuroimaging work from Reichel and Gusnard in 2002. Almost all of that energy is mitochondrial. You may have come across a striking claim about stress, that it secretly burns 60% of your daily energy. It sounds terrifying. Let us trace that number to the actual research because it teaches you something important about how health information mutates. In 2023, a team led by Baba Alves at Columbia published a study in psychoneuroendocrinology. They treated human cells with the stress hormone cortisol and measured their energy consumption. The stressed cells consumed 62% more ATP. There is the 60% number. But here's what actually happened. It was a dish of cells, bathed continuously in stress hormone. It was never a measurement of a living human's daily energy budget. When researchers infuse adrenaline into real people, resting energy expenditure rises about 12%, as Rathizer showed in 1998. Stress is expensive. It's just not 60% of your life expensive. What stress does do, according to stress researcher Bruce McEwen's landmark 1998 framing in the New England Journal of Medicine, is reallocate energy. Chronic stress reroutes your resources toward emergency mode and away from maintenance and repair. The body pays for that in a currency scientists call allostatic load. And this is where Martin Picard's lab at Columbia enters the story, because his group found one of the strangest stress signals ever measured. In 2019, Trump and colleagues put 50 adults through a 5-minute public speaking stressor and drew their blood. 30 minutes later, fragments of mitochondrial DNA floating in their blood serum had risen 2 to 3-fold. Your stress was literally leaking pieces of your mitochondria into your bloodstream. But here's why this channel exists. In 2025, the same lab ran the definitive follow-up. 72 people, a proper controlled crossover, 10 blood draws, and this time, the mitochondrial DNA rose just as much in the calm control condition as in the stress condition. The rise was partly an artifact of the blood draws themselves. The dramatic 2019 result did not survive its own replication attempt. That's not a scandal. That's science working the way it's supposed to. And it is exactly why we rate the evidence, claim by claim. Some of Picard's work, though, has held up beautifully, and it is stranger than the headlines. In 2021, his team published a study in the journal eLife that sounds like science fiction. They mapped pigment along individual human hairs, 397 hairs from 14 people, and built the first quantitative timeline of hair graying. And they found hairs that had turned white and then regained their color. Spontaneous reversal of graying, documented for the first time. The graying segments also lined up with periods the participants later reported as highly stressful. But read the fine print with us. 14 people, and the stress reports were recalled months after the fact. The reversal of graying is real and documented. The stress connection is a hypothesis, not a verdict. Then in 2025, Picard's team did something nobody had ever done. Published in Nature, They took a human brain, sliced one hemisphere into 703 tiny cubes, and ran nearly 28,000 molecular assays to build the first map of mitochondria across the human brain. Gray matter, it turns out, carries over 50% more mitochondria than white matter. The cortex, where your thinking happens, is densely packed with energy machinery. One important caveat: this entire atlas comes from a single donor brain. It is a stunning first map, not the final territory. Now here's the finding that should stop you in your tracks. In 2024, in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, Picard's group analyzed the brains of more than 400 deceased adults from a long-running aging study. They compared each person's psychological history, their sense of purpose, their well-being, their social engagement, against the mitochondrial proteins in their brain tissue. People who lived with more purpose and connection had measurably more mitochondrial energy machinery in their brains. Psychosocial experience explained 18% of the variance in a key energy complex, rising to 25% in people with healthy cognition. Your inner life and your cellular power plants move together. What we do not know yet is which one is driving the other. This energy lens is also reshaping how scientists think about depression. The evidence here is genuinely mixed, and honesty matters. Some studies find elevated markers of mitochondrial distress in major depression. A larger cohort found the opposite. The current rating on depression as an energy disorder: emerging, not proven. And what about cancer? You may have heard that cancer cells abandon their mitochondria. That is a century-old idea from Otto Warburg, who showed in the 1920s that tumors gorge on glucose. But the claim that broken mitochondria cause cancer has been rejected since the 1950s. Modern research shows mitochondria in cancer cells stay functional and often essential. In 2025, Nature reported that cancer cells can even offload their damaged mitochondria into attacking immune cells to sabotage them. These organelles are not abandoned machinery. They are weapons in the fight. So what actually builds your mitochondria? Here the evidence is not mixed at all. Exercise, and specifically hard exercise, is the most powerful mitochondrial intervention ever tested. In 2017, the Mayo Clinic randomized younger and older adults into training programs, published in Cell Metabolism. High-intensity interval training boosted the maximum energy-producing capacity of mitochondria by 49% in young adults, and 69% in older adults, 69% in people over 65 in 12 weeks. A 2025 meta-analysis of training studies confirms the pattern. Endurance and interval training grow mitochondrial content by roughly a quarter. In sedentary adults around age 67, 12 weeks of training increased muscle mitochondrial DNA by 53%. Your power plants are trainable at any age. The other levers are real but smaller. Cold exposure reliably activates brown fat, the body's mitochondrial furnace, burning on the order of 70 extra calories a day in human studies. A 2021 study in Scientific Reports found that a single 3-minute exposure to deep red light in the morning improved declining vision by 17%, an effect attributed to recharging the retina's densely packed mitochondria. Small study, one lab, promising but preliminary. And sleep protects what you have. Sleep deprivation measurably downregulates the genes your mitochondria run on. Which brings us back to that 60% number. Stress probably does not burn 60% of your energy, but the deeper truth behind the number is real. Your energy is not fixed. It is manufactured daily by organelles that respond to how you move, how you rest, and quite possibly, to what you live for. The scientists mapping this territory will tell you they have a first map, not the territory, but the direction is unmistakable. Energy is not something you have. It is something you build. If this changed how you think about your own energy, like this video, subscribe to the Science of Wellness and share it with someone who is always tired. Your support keeps this channel following the evidence, wherever it leads.